Denver and stealing game one. Well, that's exactly what happened. Taking on the defending champions. Of course, they lost to them in the first round last year to Minnesota. There you got Nikola Jokic. Ant-Man is there, as is head coach Chris Finch. He had knee surgery just the other day. He was on the sideline coaching as best he could. But he didn't need to coach much earlier because his team went on an 18-4 run in the first quarter to grab the lead. Anthony Edwards, 5 from 5 from the field to start the game. But 5 minutes to play, the Nuggets are like, yeah, we are down, but we are far from over. Jokic going to work over Rudy Gobert. The lead's down to 12. And then Jokic to Michael Porter Jr. for 3. It's down to 9. It's a 5-point game right here when Reggie Jackson gets the steal. And up to Porter for the finish. Nuggets go from 14 down to just 3. A minute later, Jackson off the screen. That's a 3, and the Nuggets end up leading it after one, 25-23 in the second quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns, Aaron Gordon. I mean, it's the playoffs. There's going to be physicality. But what does it lead to? It leads to a steal by Gordon over to Christian Brown for the dunk. Nuggets with a 3-point advantage. At the other end, Ant-Man gets the steal all the way. He had 25 in the first half. Minnesota down just 1. 50 seconds to play in the quarter. Gobert to Towns for 3. That's a tie game. Jamal Murray bounced past to Jokic, lob to Gordon. Denver back up 2. But then Murray to Jokic. He had 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in the first half. The Nuggets were 4 at the break. But in the third quarter, the T-Wolves turn it around. Defense, offense, Towns with a dunk and one at the other end. They were up 2. And then Murray here on the drive. Oh, just stop it, Jamal. He didn't have a good shooting half in the first half, but the second half he turned it on, and that was just too good. Top play nominee for sure. We're still in the third. Murray driving. Mike Conley Jr. gets the steal. Naz Reid, give it to him down the middle. Tie the game at 62. Edwards. Oh, look at that. Too pretty at the foul line. Minnesota takes the lead by 1. Ant-Man wasn't done. How about that move? T-Wolves had a 2-point lead going to the fourth quarter, even though somehow Ant got a technical. Not even sure why. We're in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 73. Naz Reid going to work off the glass with the left. T-Wolves back up by 2. Murray stepping back over his fellow Kentucky alum. And 1. Minnesota trying to come back. The game is tied at 80. And then Edwards. Oh, what did he do to Aaron Gordon? That man's got a family. 3-point lead. 6 minutes to go in the game. We're tied again at 84 all. Naz Reid with the shot clock winding down off the glass. That was huge. And then Ant-Man, no, but Naz Reid is there again to clean it up. How good was Reid? So big for Minnesota off the bench. Conley finds Reid for another 3. He had 14 points in the fourth quarter, 6 of 7 shooting. T-Wolves up 6. But here comes Joker working over Gobert. Look at that. Through the contact with the left, off the glass. Nuggets down 4. And then this is how good it was going for Minnesota in the second half. Gobert banks in that trash. They shot 71% as a team in the second half. This is a playoff game. That doesn't happen. Anthony Edwards, though, he happens all the time. 43 points, first player with consecutive 40-point games in T-Wolves postseason history. Porter hits the 3 there, but then Edwards is a 5-point lead, but Denver doesn't foul him. Don't stop him. 106-99. T-Wolves get the win to steal game 1.
Going against the best player in the world is always fun. Going against the best team in the world is always fun. And like I said, man, they're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves. And I feel like our coaching staff did a great job of game planning throughout the 3-4 days that we had, and our guys came out and competed tonight. So it's not about just me personally. It's about my team. You know, they give me confidence also. I mean, seeing in the third quarter, I didn't do anything. I was just out there running up and down. And Mike and Cat came out big for us, so that gave me confidence, you know, to try to find myself.
Ant was shooting all the balls in the first half. So. It's hard to get a rhythm. No, but you just gotta play with the flow of the game. He had it going, got us out to an early lead, and for me, I'm comfortable, waiting until the second half, and I've done that a lot throughout my career. I've done that a lot this season. The guys trust me to do that and be aggressive. They all tell me to shoot more and look for my shot more, and tonight was one of those nights.
He's special. He definitely was aggressive, and he wanted to win. So he's been special all playoffs. He's been special all year. So the momentum keeps going.
Of course, he's a special player. I have a huge respect for him. He can do everything on the floor. It's you need to enjoy and respect. I think you need to enjoy and respect your opponent, just how good and how talented he is. But it was him in the first half. He scored like 20-something in the first half, and then it was Cat. Mike only had some big points. Nasrid had an amazing fourth quarter, and of course, Ant had a really good fourth quarter too. So they're a really talented team, and that's why they are the number one seed most of the year.
Tough one. He is a great player, and I think at halftime he had 25, and no one else really got going. So it was the Anthony Edwards show, but we're up. And then what you worry about in that third quarter, I don't know how many points he scored in that third quarter, but I know Carl got going and the other guys got going, and that's when they become really dangerous, because now you have 3 scores, 4 scores, and that can't be the case. Ann had 43, Carl had 20, Nas had 16 off the bench, Conley had 14. It'll be a quick exit if we allow 4 guys to get off like that. So Ann's got to get his. We can do a much better job. I didn't think we had what we needed to have tonight, and I'll leave it at that.
So Anthony Edwards still doing what he does. Back-to-back 40-point games. Second player to ever do that before turning 23. The other guy, Kobe. And by the way, that was in the midst of that 3 straight NBA championship run by the Lake Show. Yeah, that's when he did his.
Series, Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets easily handled a young T-Wolves team on their way to an NBA championship. This year, Minnesota looks like a different team behind the fantastic play of emerging star. Is he emerging? I think he's a star at this point. Anthony Edwards, and they're hoping for a better outcome. Okay, here's what I want to know. Who's closer to being the new face of the NBA? Is it Jokic or is it Anthony Edwards? Stephen A., you want to start us off?
I want to say Jokic because he's the champion and he's the best in the business. And I think when you look at it from that standpoint, you have to give him the edge. I'm just addicted to this brother, Anthony Davis. I see the Jordan era, Kobe era. I see the potential for him to be along those lines. That's how high I am on this brother. But a lot is going to tell us about this. This series is going to tell us a lot about that. Right now, I would say Jokic, but if Anthony Edwards sends Jokic home, it's a different answer.
Drea?
It's Anthony Edwards. It's Anthony Edwards for me. He's in his 4th season. He's averaged over 20 points per game in every season. He was the number 1 overall pick. He plays on both ends of the floor. He tells his teammate Karl Anthony Towns, who was also an all-star this year, to stop effing fouling. He wants to be the face of the league. His numbers show it. His numbers support it. His personality supports it. He wants those moments, not just to shine on the court with the way he plays, but off the court with his personality and the way he speaks. He's ready for it in every aspect. And Stephen A., it seems like he wants it. Mad Dog, same thing. It seems like Anthony Edwards wants those moments on the court and off the court. He is fine with the attention. He thrives in the attention. And his stats support it. It's Anthony Edwards. Both ends of the floor, his impact is next level.
Well, he's only won 1 playoff series so far. Jokic has won a championship, good chance to win another one, and 2 MVPs. And the one thing about Jokic that I think everybody enjoys is the way he plays. He's a big, goofy, as people have said to me, he is the best skilled offensive center in the history of the NBA. That's Wilt, that's Kareem, that's Shaq, Malone, Olajuwon. That's a mouthful if you're going to put him on that level. And no matter what, in fact, Edwards does, he's never going to be Jordan or LeBron. So I will say the way he plays and how funny he is to watch, and he's a goofball and all those things that go along with it, and he's already got the resume, I'll say Jokic is the face.
I will say this. I think it's very, very difficult for a big man.
It's Anthony Edwards. Both ends of the floor, his impact is next level.
Well, he's only won the one playoff series so far. Jokic has won a championship, good chance to win another one, and 2 MVPs. And the one thing about Jokic that I think everybody enjoys is the way he plays. You know, he's a big, goofy, as people have said to me, he is the best skilled offensive center in the history of the NBA. I mean, that's Wilt, that's Kareem, that's Shaq, Malone, Olajuwon. That's a mouthful if you're going to put him on that level. And no matter what, in fact, Edwards does, he's never going to be Jordan or LeBron. So I will say the way he plays and how funny he is to watch, and he's a goofball and all those things that go along with it, and he's already got the resume, I'll say Jokic is the face.
I will say this. I think it's very, very difficult for a big man to be the face because the world doesn't gravitate to them the same way because, you know, everybody can't be 7 feet, stuff like that.
Good point.
I would say in a fun kind of way, that damn commercial he has out with those Despicable Me's, I mean, hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And then for him to walk into the arena with the scarf on right after, you know, before a game, right after that commercial first aired, I think stuff like that goes a long way. But I would tell you, doggy, again, because he's a big man, as gifted as he is, you don't gravitate to them as much as you gravitate to dudes. Like when you look at Steph Curry, you got people walking around going like this. If I could shoot, I could be that. You know, he's only 6'3". You know, I could do that, you know. And you look at it like that. Anthony Edwards, he forces you to think about Jordan, Kobe. You look at his game and you look at his demeanor and you look at how he goes after it and you look at his level of production. Doggy, he didn't just score 40 the other night.
No, he killed
it. Was 18. It was 18 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, I know.
He didn't just beat KD. He beat KD, Beal, and Booker. And not only did he do that, he was calling them out beforehand and then backed it up. So when you see that kind of personality with that athleticism, with that production, ultimately leads, like I said, I can't give it to him this second because of Jokic. But if he wins, if he beats Denver this series, it's a different argument. Andrea would be right.
Yeah. Speaking of Phoenix, and I should have used this as a mad about, how about Bradley Beal blowing off Vogel when he walked off the court with the handshake? Did you see that the other day?
I did not see that.
Oh, Mike, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
That was weak.
Yep.
I mean, Bradley Beal, who has done nothing in his career, and Vogel's won a championship, and the coach put his hands out, and he ignored him entirely. That was out of line. You haven't seen that yet, Stevie?
I didn't see it.
We'll get it to him. All right, we got to rush here. Andrea, so great having you in studio. We love you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Star.
Yeah,
this is
Mad
a
Dog,
star
exciting.
Thanks, Mad Dog.
Oh,
Appreciate
you're back tomorrow. That's what we're told.
Hopefully he won't contaminate you. Calling you a star, that might be bad luck coming from him.
Mad Dog had the line of the show. I'm going to teach him everything he knows about radio, and he still will be better than me.
We'll be right back.